October feels like the month that sneaks up on your budget. You're still paying for back to school and suddenly Halloween candy, fall festivals, and holiday prep are hitting you all at once. It feels like money is flying out the door, and I may have a solution. That's why I like to get ahead. I actually start my Christmas prep in October, shopping, writing cards, even pulling out decorations. Some years I'll bake and freeze cookies, so by December 1st, I'm done. It means I can actually enjoy the season instead of running around like a stressed out elf with an empty wallet. But I'll fill you in on that Christmas stuff in just a bit. Here's the twist. October isn't just about holiday prep, it's also full of overlooked expenses and hidden savings opportunities most people miss. Hi, my friend. If you're new here, my name is Sarah and I'm the owner of FrozenPennies.com. I'm a financial coach and the author of the international best-selling book, Fundamentally Frugal. Link below. So let's talk about the specific things that make October such a sneaky money month and how a little planning now can save you from stress and overspending later. Oh, and yeah, we'll talk about Halloween candy, but there's also a money trap in October that nobody ever budgets for, and it's not what you might think. So stick with me because it's coming up. First, holiday travel reservations. Now here's the truth about holiday travel. If you wait until November to book, you'll pay for it. Literally. Airfare, hotels, even rental cars spike as soon as we get closer to Thanksgiving and Christmas. October is the sweet spot. Prices are lower, there are still plenty of options, and you can plan with less stress. So here's what I recommend. If you know you're going to be traveling, even if it's just a road trip, budget for it in October. That means flights, hotels, gas money, and even snacks for the road. If you're flying, compare prices now and grab the deals before they disappear. If you're driving, schedule the oil change and set aside the gas money before the holiday rush. Planning ahead now means future you can enjoy the holidays without staring at a credit card bill that makes you want to cry. If you're considering doing some vacation traveling, this might be the time. News reports and travel experts are saying international travel to the United States from other countries, including Canada, is down 15% because of political tensions. Because of this, hotel rates are down 3.7%, making it just a smidge cheaper than normal. And this being the shoulder season or off season, prices are less anyway. If you've ever wanted to see New England in the fall, this might be a good year, if your vacation budget permits. Number 2, fall festivals and apple picking. October is when every small town and far country comes alive. Apple orchards, pumpkin patches, corn mazes, hay rides, they're everywhere. And they're fun. But they're not free. The admission tickets, the hot apple cider, the donuts, the photo ops, it all adds up. I'll never forget the year we went apple picking just for a bag or two. Somehow we left with $60 worth of apples, 2 jugs of cider, and a dozen donuts. Well, I don't regret it. Those memories were worth every penny, but it wasn't in the budget. Now, I plan for it. I set aside a little apple picking money in October. That way, when the kids or grandkids want one more hayride on the hay wagon, I don't feel guilty saying yes. Upstate New York is known for their apples, and it's one of our favorite times of the year. We budget and plan for the outing. We no longer pick apples, but we do go to the orchard and buy them, along with cider, donuts, and pies. We might hoard the donuts. Please tell me your favorite things about fall. It's definitely my favorite season. Number 3, winter prep home supplies. October is the month when the weather gives us little reminders that winter is coming. Chilly mornings, frost on the grass, darker evenings. And with those reminders comes the question, are you ready for the cold months ahead? You might not want to think about it, but heating oil, firewood, chimney cleaning, filters for your furnace, even just a fresh snow shovel or a bag of ice melt. These are the things you want to have before the first storm and not after. I'll never forget the year we put off buying ice melt because it felt too early. Then in mid-November, the first ice storm hit. By the time we made it to the store, the shelves were stripped bare. We ended up paying almost double for a no-name brand from a tiny hardware store 2 towns over, and honestly, it barely worked. It was a stressful, expensive, and totally avoidable experience. That was the year I learned my lesson. October is your chance to budget for these supplies while the shelves are still full and the prices haven't skyrocketed. Think ahead. If you heat with oil or wood, book your deliveries now. If you rely on space heaters or need to replace a broken one, October sales are full of options. Even stocking up on simple things like draft stoppers or extra blankets can make a huge difference. When you prepare now, you don't just save money, but you also buy yourself peace of mind in those bitter January mornings. Number 4, Halloween everything. Now, Halloween is obvious, but the expenses are bigger than most of us realize. Costumes, candy, pumpkins, decorations, trick-or-treat events, school parties, even haunted house tickets. If you've got kids or grandkids, you know the drill. They don't want the $15 costume from the bargain rack. They want the $50 superhero one with all the accessories. And don't get me started on the candy. Those fun-size bags disappear into thin air when you live in busy neighborhoods. Here's the secret though. Budget not just for Halloween itself, but also for November 1st. That's one of the best clearance days of the entire year. Candy gets marked down 50 to 75%. Costumes become next year's dress-up bin, and decorations can be tucked away for pennies. Now, I'll be honest with you, Halloween is not my thing. I am fear-averse, so anything that's scary is just not for me. But picking up clearance candy to be used in Christmas stockings is right up my alley. Nobody cares that they're in fall colors. It's candy. The trick is setting aside the money now so you're ready to grab the deals without guilt. Let me know in the comments. Are you still ready and willing and planning to host trick-or-treaters this season, even though the prices of everything are going up? Number 5, cold and flu medications. This is the season when the sniffles start creeping in. October sits right at the beginning of cold and flu season, and pharmacies know it. That's why you'll see sales on tissues, cough drops, hand sanitizer, thermometers, and even things like humidifiers and vitamin C packets. It might not be exciting to budget for cough syrup, but trust me, you'll thank yourself later. Now, our local Walgreens has all the meds, but it's expensive, much more than Walmart or, say, Target. So every year around this time, I restock our favorite supplies. I do what I call a medicine cabinet refresh. I toss the expired stuff, restock the basics, and make sure we've got what we need in case a bug hits the house. Don't forget tissues. I budget about $25 to $40 just for this, and it also saves us from that last-minute scramble. A small October investment can make a winter month a whole lot less stressful and a lot less cheaper. Now, my husband this year turned 65, and he's on Medicare. Or is it Medicaid? Medicare? I always mix those up. Anyway, he's entitled to $250 a year for over-the-counter supplies, and there's an entire catalog of things to order. So this year, we're using that for our winter medicine cabinet stock up. Number 6, fall clothing sales. October is the sweet spot for clothing sales. Retailers start to make room for holiday merchandise, which means the racks of sweaters, jackets, and boots are quietly getting marked down. And let's be honest, by the time the first cold snap hits, everyone suddenly realizes they need a new coat, and prices jump right back up. October's when you catch the savings. Remember, clearance fall clothing, shoes, and boots all make great Christmas gifts. When you budget for clothing in October, focus on the staples: coats, boots, warm sweaters, and layering pieces. These are the things you'll be glad you invested in when it's freezing outside. And because the sales are already starting, you get more for your money. It's one of those budgeting moves that feels like a treat, but it's actually a smart long-term play. Number 7, seasonal produce. October is peak harvest season. Apples, pumpkins, pears, sweet potatoes, squash, they're all fresh, plentiful, and cheaper than they'll be any other time of the year. And this isn't just about eating in season, though that's always healthier and tastier. It's about budgeting smarter by stocking up now and stretching it to the winter months. Growing up, I remember my mom spending weekends in October making applesauce and freezing it for later. She is also a fantastic canner, but she never really nailed the canning of the applesauce. We'd pick up the baskets of apples at the orchard when they were the cheapest, and she'd spend a whole day peeling, cooking, and storing it away. As a kid, it felt like work. A lot of work. As an adult, I see it for what it was. Smart budgeting. She was trading a little effort in October for months of savings. In October, consider budgeting extra for produce so you can batch cook and freeze. Pumpkin puree for holiday pies, roasted squash for winter soups, even diced apples for oatmeal. By buying in season, you pay half the price and you avoid those sad, flavorless, overpriced fruits and veggies in January. October produce isn't just food, it's future meals at a fraction of the cost. Number 8, end of season camping and outdoor gear. Here's a little October secret. Retailers are desperate to clear out summer gear before holiday inventory takes over. That means deep discounts on tents, sleeping bags, patio furniture, grills, even gardening tools. This is the month when you can grab big ticket items for next summer at a fraction of the price. Now, my husband and I scored big at BJ's a few years ago. They had those small green bottles of propane used for camping stoves, marked way down. We got them for under $3 each when they were normally $5. We love having these on hand for winter preparedness. You never know when a nor'eastern snowstorm is going to knock out your power in the ADK. Because we'd set up a little October clearance money, we were able to snag it without guilt. Budgeting for these kinds of deals takes some discipline. You have to remind yourself that even though it feels early, you're actually saving your future self from paying top dollar next spring. Think about what your family could use next summer. A new tent, a patio umbrella, maybe a fire pit. If you've got the space to store it, October is the month to buy it. Because nothing feels better than enjoying a warm summer night on a $50 patio set that originally cost $200. Number 9, early holiday gifts and sinking funds. October is when the first wave of holiday sales starts rolling out. Stores know that people want to spread out their shopping, so they launch early Black Friday promotions. It's tempting to ignore all of it, but here's the truth. A little October planning can save you from December panic. Now, I used to be a last-minute shopper. I'd put it off until December thinking I was being practical. The problem? By then, shelves were bare, prices were higher, and I was grabbing whatever I could to find just to check names off of a list. Now, I save all year long with a separate sinking fund, or Christmas club, or holiday savings account, whatever you want to call it. That way, when October 1st rolls around, I'm ready to snag some bargains when I see a good deal. For example, my grandkids need new winter coats. The Children's Place has puffer coats on sale for $20, and then you get a winter hat or mittens for just $5. That's a great Christmas gift. Think of it as giving yourself the gift of sanity before December rolls around. I have a great planner called How to Be Ready for Christmas by December 1st. I'm going to put a link in the description below. Number 10, carb maintenance for winter. If you live in a place where winter driving is a reality, October is your golden window to get your car ready before the first snowstorm hits. Winter tires, new windshield wipers, antifreeze, even just topping off washer fluid. These are things that save you when the roads turn icy. The last thing you want to do is realize the tread on your tires is all but non-existent, and the first major snowstorm of the season is scheduled for next week. Tire shops will indeed hike up their prices when this happens, and you'll be lucky to get into the shop as so many will be trying to do the exact same thing you are. That's why I always tell people schedule it now, before everyone else remembers. Put aside money for the oil change, the antifreeze, even a quick tune-up. If you live in colder climates, check your battery. Nothing's worse than a dead car on a freezing morning. When you budget for car maintenance in October, you're not just protecting your vehicle, you're buying yourself safety, peace of mind, and a smoother winter season. Number 11, seasonal decor beyond Halloween. When we think of October decor, we usually think jack-o'-lanterns and cobwebs. But right after Halloween, stores shift gears and start pushing Thanksgiving and general fall decorations. That means October is your sweet spot for both, enjoying the spooky season and planning ahead for the cozy one that follows. Now, I used to think that seasonal decor was something to buy in the moment. If I wanted a pretty fall tablecloth or a wreath for the front door, I'd grab it right before Thanksgiving. The problem? By then, the prices were at their highest, not to mention that everything is already gone. The moment I see Thanksgiving paper plates go on sale at Hobby Lobby, I snag them, because if I wait until closer to Thanksgiving, they're gone. If decorations are your thing, try building seasonal decor into your October budget. That way, when November 1st hits and stores slash Halloween and fall items to make way for Christmas, you're ready. Table settings, candles, harvest-themed napkins, all at half price. The trick is not to wait until you need it. Budget in October, buy when it's cheapest, and enjoy the savings all season long. Number 12, sports and tailgating costs. October is football season in full swing. Whether you're tailgating in a stadium, watching your kids or grandkids at school sporting events, or just hosting friends in your living room, the cost adds up fast. Tickets, team gear, gas, and of course, the food. Those nachos and chili taste amazing, but if you're not careful, they'll also eat up your grocery budget. Plan for it. If you love football, go Bills, and love to gather for parties, set aside a little game day budget. Sometimes it's $20 for extra snacks, sometimes it's much more if we're going to a game. But by naming it in advance, we enjoy it guilt-free. The same goes for gear. Team sweatshirts, blankets, or chairs often go on sale in October, right before the holiday rush. By planning for it now, you get the fun of cheering on your team without the money hangover the next day. Number 13, gardening clearance. October is like a hidden clearance aisle for gardeners. Stores are desperate to move out bulbs, rakes, fertilizer, mulch, and even lawnmowers to make room for Christmas inventory. If you're willing to think a season ahead, you can save a small fortune. One October, I found a cart of tulip bulbs marked down 75%. For less than $10, I filled my yard with spring flowers. It was like giving myself a surprise gift 6 months later, and that's the beauty of October gardening deals. You're paying it forward. The little you spend now pays you back in beauty, convenience, and savings later. Even if you're not a big gardener, it's worth checking your local garden center this month. Things like gloves, tools, or lawn care products are often marked down, and you'll need them eventually. Also, if you have a gardener in your family, now is the time to pick up all of those clearance items to put together a basket as a Christmas gift. Budgeting for it in October means you're stocking up at the lowest price instead of paying full price when spring fever hits. Think of it as planting seeds of savings today for a richer season tomorrow. Number 14, electronics pre-Black Friday deals. Everyone talks about Black Friday like it's the Olympics of shopping. But here's the secret. The deals actually start in late October. I'm noticing they're starting earlier and earlier every year. Retailers quietly test early discounts on TVs, laptops, smart home gadgets, and small appliances to get shoppers warmed up. And if you're paying attention, you can snag the same deals without fighting the crowds. That's why I tell people, if you've been eyeing a big purchase and you've budgeted for it, October is the smart month to buy. Not because you're impulse shopping, but because you are being strategic. Retailers want your business early, and they'll reward you with great discounts. The key is making sure it's something you plan to buy, not just grabbing gadgets because they're shiny and on sale. Build it into your October budget, and you can enjoy the savings without the regret. October can feel like just another month on the calendar, but it's actually full of both sneaky expenses and hidden opportunities to save. A little planning now keeps you from scrambling later. So here's my challenge. Don't overcomplicate it. Pick the 3 October expenses that matter most to your family. Budget for those, and then let the rest go. That way, when the holidays roll around, you'll be prepared, calm, and maybe even a little ahead of the game. Now, I'll be the one up here in upstate New York hoarding apple cider donuts, sipping a hot coffee, and feeling grateful that I planned ahead. And if I can enjoy my cider donuts stress-free, you deserve to enjoy your October the exact same way. And if this video spoke to you, don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and watch this video next.